Welcome back to the gun dungeon, guys. I am sitting here loading up your all's favorite round. I know it's your favorite. This is my favorite, everybody's favorite. No way you cannot like it. The old 30 Super Carry. And I quit loading on these a while back because if you remember, I was having some trouble with the brass popping out of the shell holder because it didn't quite fit. And it was the shell holder that Lee sent with the dies, but it was a little too big. But I have since got a Hornady number 3 shell holder for 22 Hornet, and it works perfectly. So if you're running into the same problem I did, Hornady number 3 for 22 Hornet works great. No problems at all. And that is not me telling you guys or showing you how to manufacture ammunition, because I hear tell YouTube's going to start handing out strikes for that, but I'm not showing you how to make ammunition. I'm just doing it while we are discussing a topic at hand, and that topic today is going to be 308 versus 30-06. Why 30-06 or why 308? And this is kind of an interesting topic for me because I have both and I like both, but there is a lot of overlap between the two. I mean, essentially, it's like 38 Special versus 357 Magnum, kind of, but not so much, if that makes any sense. I'm gonna give you my opinion, and I want you guys to give me your opinion down below. But to me, when it comes to lighter bullets, like the 125 to, let's say, around 168, that may be getting a little heavy. Let's just say 150, just for the sake of it. Around in that area, 30-06 really doesn't take off a whole lot and separate itself from the 308. It seems like when you start getting into the 180s, the 200s, the 208s, that's where 30-06 really starts to walk away from the 308's capabilities. And when you're around the 150 range, bullet weight wise, I think there maybe I'm just going off load data here that I remember, there might be 100, 150, maybe 200 feet per second difference between the two. Not a whole lot. Not enough really to justify a long action or the extra powder, in my opinion. There's not a whole lot of performance there because you're already talking like 2,900 feet a second. So you're already talking about some pretty high velocities. And I don't think 30-06 really starts shining until we get into the heavier bullets. Now, when you get into 180, 200, yeah, there's 300-400 feet per second difference with a lot of the load data, depending on your powder, of course. But typically, I'm just going to say generally, there's a pretty massive difference in the velocities there. Not sure exactly why. I know there's more case capacity with the 30-06, but it's kind of strange how, you got the same case capacity with the 150 grainers, but you don't really take advantage of it with the load data that's available. At least that's kind of what I observe. So, the old M1 Garand was a battle rifle meant for combat, that type of stuff, and it was 30-06. I think from a battle rifle perspective, 308's got it. Short action, smaller cartridges overall. I can't really say less recoil because energy is energy. If you're pushing a 150 grain bullet at approximately the same speed from two different cartridges, energy is energy. Going this way, equal and opposite reaction going this way, which would be recoil. Now, if your gun's heavier or your gun's lighter, you're going to have more felt recoil, but overall, rearward energy is rearward energy. Now, when you get, like I said, to the 180s, 200 grain bullets, 30-06, going to have some pop to it. It's going to have a little bit of recoil. I did a video where I loaded up some fairly warm, I think they were 208 grain ELDs or something like that in 30-06, and they were max charge with IMR 4350, I believe. So they were scooting right along, and that Ruger American rifle had a little pop to it on the receiving end, let me tell you. But, you know, when you get to the 150 grainers that are pushing about the same speeds, the recoil really isn't much different. But you do have a shorter cartridge, typically a smaller rifle, definitely a shorter action. I don't know how much of a difference it would make to me, long action versus short action in a rifle, consider, you know, talking about accuracy wise. I don't know that I'm good enough of a shooter to take advantage of that. Maybe you all are. I know there are people that are. I'm not one of them. So that really doesn't have a huge impact on me going short action, long action, as far as bolt action guns go. I know if you're going to go buy aftermarket stuff for the Ruger American series, you do have more options stock-wise anyways. When it comes to short actions, you don't have as many options. I think Boyd's has a long action aftermarket stock for the Ruger American, but you know, that's specific to the Ruger American that I've looked at. It may be the same way with others, but I haven't looked, so I can't really tell you on that. But I think there's definitely a place in the world for both cartridges. Of course there is, because both have been around for a very, very long time, and I don't see either one leaving the marketplace anytime soon. And if I was going to, I've quit putting in for it now, but if I ever got the draw for an elk hunt in Kentucky, I would take my 30-06 over the 308, just because I could load the heavier bullets to better terminal performance. And that's not saying a 308 can't take an elk, but if I have a 30-06, why would I not use it? You know what I mean? So definitely a place for them. And if all you're doing is hunting whitetail, I think either one with 150, 168 grain bullet, either one is going to take all the whitetail that you could possibly come across. You know, ranges aren't going to typically be much different as far, because if you're shooting the same weight bullets at the same speed, doesn't matter what the case was that it came out of. Oh, that mashed that in sideways. But you know, if all you're doing is deer hunting, flip a coin, man. Whichever one you like the name of, whichever one you like the rifle of. But, you know, you see it talked about a lot. 30-06 is better than 308. 308 is better than 30-06. I don't really think it's a better than. I think it's a applications thing. What is the application? What are we doing? Are we going to a battlefield where, you know, I'm going to have a box magazine with some 308 in it, or an M1 Garand with a M-block clip? I want a 308. If I'm going try to take old moose, I want 30-06. So I don't think it's a better than situation here. I think there's room for both. I am very curious to hear your opinion on the matter and where you think one may excel over the other that maybe I didn't cover here, maybe I haven't even thought of. So that's what I want from you guys, is comments below telling me what your thoughts on the matter are, and I'm gonna get back to loading some of these 30 Super Carry that you've seen. Not one single brass has popped off into the floor on me. Not one single cartridge. Ain't that cool? Number 3, Hornady shell plate, shell holder. That's what you want. Till next time, guys, stay tuned.